Well, sometimes when you fight hard enough, just sometimes you might win. And it's important to celebrate those wins when you have them. And for today's segment, Weekend Woke, we're pleased to have with us Stacy Langton because she just experienced a win in Fairfax County Public Schools where a book she'd been pushing against was removed, albeit in quiet, and without notifying the Mama Grizzly, Stacy Langton herself joins us now. Stacy, congratulations on the win. The book was actually called Queer, a Graphic History, right? I believe if I'm remembering it correctly. And you went to the school board and stood before the school board and passionately spoke out against this book and others. Yeah, they didn't notify you they'd removed it. So you were pleasantly surprised when you got the news last week, correct?
Oh, to say I was pleasantly surprised doesn't quite capture it. To say more correctly is I was shocked. I was completely shocked. And the reason why I was shocked is the manner in which I found out that the book had been removed. So I first spoke about this book at the school board meeting in May of 2023, as soon as I became aware of it at my son's high school. And of course, the board didn't do anything about it as far as I knew. And when I went to speak last Thursday night at the school board meeting, they tried to censor me. They actually tried to block me from speaking. And it was because I had submitted my testimony via video beforehand. And I mentioned this book again, because it includes the infamous pegging picture, which you and I talked about a couple of weeks ago, which is part of the Sean P. Diddy Combs case in the Kim Porter book. That was, Diddy's favorite fetish, right? How disgusting. Well, I think what happened was when they saw my speech and they therefore were able to see in advance what I was going to say, they weren't going to let me do that. And it accidentally kicked off a sequence of events and emails between myself and the superintendent, which ultimately revealed that they had actually removed the book. And I think why they didn't tell me, and not only not tell me, but they didn't tell the parents, they didn't tell the general public, and they certainly didn't tell the LGBT community. And it's because they didn't want to hand me a very history in a presidential.
Yeah, and just clarify, because you cut out just a little bit there. I just want to, restate that for our audience, is that you believe they didn't want a political win prior to this pivotal presidential election in which these issues are front and center for many, many mothers who are going to go vote, who have already voted, or who are going to go to the polls tomorrow. And it was a deciding factor in the Virginia gubernatorial election back in 2021. In fact, many here, it's in my home state, it's in the state I live in now, many attribute Glenn Youngkin's success at the polls that year to you, Stacy Langton, and to your fight against these books and how I bolstered Glenn Youngkin into the governor's mansion here in Virginia. So I imagine they didn't want that news to get out before tomorrow.
Right, that's exactly right. They knew what a political football this was going to be. They knew that my exposure of the pornographic books in September of 2021 is what caused the gaffe that McAuliffe infamously made, where he said, we're not going to let parents tell schools what they should teach. And guess what? Glenn Youngkin was down by 7 points in the polls on debate night, and that gaffe inverted the polling numbers in the last 5 weeks, and he won the election by 2 points. And we're in the same exact situation now. And when this story broke on Friday night, late, 5 days before Election Day, they know that if you start firing up that parental anger again, here in Virginia in particular, because where was President Trump on Saturday night? He was here in Salem, Virginia. And what was he talking about a lot? He was talking about the pornographic books in our schools. He was talking about transgender ideology. He was talking about queer theory, all the things that we've been fighting so hard against for the last 3 years. And he is promising as his platform of his campaign to do away with that and to withdraw federal funding from schools that includes time of indoctrination of our children. They know how dangerous it is that I won on this particular issue, and that's why they tried to keep it very, very quiet.
I mean, honestly, speaking of writing a book, you couldn't have written it in fiction better. The timing of this news breaking coinciding with Donald Trump's appearance in Salem, Virginia over the weekend, in which, yes, you are right. A large focus of that rally was on he got the girls up on stage and they talked about the boys and girls sports, and the transgender ideology. You're absolutely right. Congratulations, Stacy, and I just appreciate you. And it shows that when you fight, you can persevere and you can win, even if you didn't know for a while you had won. Right? They had tried to keep you from knowing that you had won.
No, nobody's more surprised than me. And to be in this battle that I started 3 years ago and to finally have earned a victory 3 years after the fact is amazing. And so I just want to remind all of your viewers tonight, especially those of them who are in Virginia. Virginia is in play. Get out tomorrow and vote like your children's lives depend on it, because they do.
I think you're right. I think Virginia is in play. We'll see tomorrow. I'll be here all through election night. And in the meantime, you can find out more of what Stacy's up to and support her at mamagrizzly.org, mamagrizzly.org. Thank you, my friend. Congratulations again.
Thanks, Emerald. Good to see you.
All right. You know what, y'all? I'm already feeling like I need a cup of coffee because I know it's 9 p.m. Eastern time, but I still have a lot of work to do before tomorrow, and I'll probably be up for the next few days. And as I've been saying, I will be relying on my coffee, and you can too, because I know a lot of you will be sitting up watching our feed with me. Go to mypillow.com, click on the My Coffee tab up on the right-hand side in the upper corner. When you use the promo code TRUTH, you're going to get at least 50% off, and you can choose between already ground coffee, or you can choose between those, or you can get the My Coffee pods, because I know a lot of you, like me, I'll be honest, use the machine quite often. Go to mypillow.com, click on the My Coffee tab, use the promo code TRUTH, or you can call the number you see at the bottom of your screen, 800-944-5396. Tell them you want to use the promo code TRUTH. And speaking of election night coverage, I will be with you here live at 8 p.m. during my regular time, but I will also be spending more time with you on frankspeech.com with my friend Naomi Wolf. If you've seen, we have launched Emerald and Naomi. We'll be doing special coverage for Frank Speech tomorrow with Emerald and Naomi as well. So you'll want to keep it tuned in here to frankspeech.com all night long, all evening long tomorrow, as we bring you the latest in analysis, commentary, and breaking news that we have out of all of particularly the battleground states. You won't want to turn to any other network. Right here, frankspeech.com. We'll see you tomorrow. Prayers up, and that's the absolute truth.